Hey guys, how are we doing? Yeah, got some time to go play in the garage. A couple hours last night, and I wrapped up about 9 o'clock or so. But it was too dirty and wasn't in the mood to make a video. But we're here the next morning and kind of show you what transpired, so to speak. So I started playing more with the idea of what I want to make out of that motor. And I think the last video I kind of showed just the motor attached to this little section of electric scooter frame, and from there I continued to build the rear drive system, which is another setup on the other side of an electric bike. That is the front tire off of one to keep it the same size as that one. They're both like a 6-inch diameter, and what we did is we just cut these sections of frame out. This setup is skinnier than the back tire was, but the back tire was smaller. So I cut those out, drew that in, bolted it together, and then we just took some steel and kind of squared it all off on the bench and made it like a rear drive. Boxed in the front there. Got that together, and it's 15 inches apart, center to center on those tires, which is pretty good. And as far as tippy, and of course I wasn't sure what I wanted to use for a platform, and it went from a couple of things, from a cooler to a picnic basket. I was trying to find a little red wagon, I couldn't find that, and I remembered I had a sled up in the little garage attic, and it was here, so it volunteered itself to turn into something, and so that got welded to the back of it, centered. Then I started creating the front end. Front end consists of, again, more of that scooter stuff. Basically, if you turn that tire sideways, that's the front end of one of the electric scooters that continued all the way to here, and then had a rear with a drive and an electric motor. Cut all that off, had one from another one, cut it off here, bent these tubes in, and welded them together, so that gave you that wishbone looking kind of setup. And then took a bar across the top of it to keep it from wanting to bow in. I'll back up a second. After it was done, the toe on these guys was really like this. So I took the MAP gas torch, heated up in the middle, had it on the bench upside down, and kind of hammered it down a little bit. Put a bow in it. That bow in turn drew the wheels more straight. They're actually kind of good being on a slight angle. It kind of gives you a little bit better control when you go into a turn. Then what? Then we just kind of tacked it to the front of the sled and try to figure out where we wanted everything, and then I had to come up with some kind of steering setup. Steering setup being another part of a Razor scooter. Again, there was like 4 of them total that I had that were all electric junk parts machines. So put a bar across to stabilize it, then I attached it to the bar, and then came up with some riggers from the bottom there to tie back up to kind of give this some more strength. Eventually I'll cut these right off of here, but not yet. So then the regular handlebars on the scooters, I don't know if you know what they look like, they actually fold down when you're not using them. So I just drilled the pin out, ground the pin off, drove the pin out, got rid of the tops. These guys have like just like a regular bicycle, there's a Allen set, and down inside the center of it there's like a wedge, and you tighten that up and it locks that front end. That allows you to turn this and swing it any direction you want compared to the tire. So as far as alignment, you don't have to have like a threaded rod that you turn in and out. Just kind of eyeball it, get as close as possible, and then you could loosen up that screw, and if you're off a little bit you could actually pitch the alignment. So again, the center one, these were the bars that held the battery up on the scooters. They had like a little cage down below with a piece of plastic, kind of holds the batteries in the guts, and on those frames basically it looks like that. So the silver one had the largest cage on it because it was a larger unit. We took those and we made tie rods out of them, so that's what you got. And that's kind of your steering. You kind of see everything's just kind of tacked right now in case I need to take it back apart, but gives you that general idea how that works. So there's 2 ways that this thing is supposed to operate. One is in the upright mode, and you'll either have like a, I don't know, maybe one of these baskets, or I was thinking possibly this red seat on something that you can kind of sit on it, put your feet down on the steering of the sled, and then when you're not using it, it'll either fold down or it'll fold up out of the way. I'm getting all that in there. But the main idea, what I started out to make was like when you go to a swap meet and say if you grab a set of tires and it's a half mile from your car, and a lot of guys have like little red wagons and stuff that they pull the stuff around with. Our area is very hilly, and it's a pain in the ass. So my thought is you can actually kind of wheel it around with it shut off, or you can fire it up and you can mount your throttle right on it. You can either ride the thing around, or again, this knob undoes. That'll flip down, and then you could actually take it and tilt the whole nose down. And again, this handlebar actually extends. You loosen this up, this will come out about another foot. But you can use it like you would like a little red wagon, if you can get it all in. So you could steer it. So you could actually walk in front of it with the thing loaded up with whatever you got on it, a transmission or whatever, and you could power it back to your car. Again, you're just running it at like 5 mile an hour, 10 mile an hour, something like that. So it's actually an excuse just to make something stupid. I had some crap laying around. I just kind of wanted to do something with it. These scooters. Yeah, it looks different. Not another one, that's for sure. So that's where we are. I figured I'd do a little video on it just to kind of show you the mid-process of what we're working with. I need to tie that front end to that back end to give it more strength instead of just relying on the sled. The sled itself, this whole top platform right here, is sitting on these, and these are spring loaded, so it actually has cushioning to it. So it actually has, I guess we're going to call it some kind of suspension when you're sitting on it, or your car goes on it. What else? We'll take these. We'll cut these to the right height, and probably put a washer on the bottom and just weld the washer on them. And that'll be the steering. And it should have a fairly good turning radius. You figure that's all the way to one side. That's pretty good. That'll walk a pretty tight circle. So that's where we are, and stay tuned. We'll make another video when I get a little further along with it. Again, thanks for watching, and commenting and subscribing and etc. And take care.